What's up, Dragon Brood? Y'all are wearing me out with these 5-minute deck techs, but we have more. So we're going to be playing Orzhov Sacrifice with this one, and there's going to be an interesting way that this goes, and lots of new cards work their way into this list. Also, don't forget, if you want this deck list, you will be able to download it in the description below. Just look for the blue arrows. And like the video, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, because if you do that, it guarantees you'll get to see the other 5-minute deck techs and the gameplay that goes with these as we do them. But for now, let's go look at this deck list. All right, so we're going to start with one of the key pieces in the set, and that's Bartolome del Presidio. We had this, I believe, in our Mardu Vampires list, but here it's actually just a quality body. It's a 2-mana, 2/1. Anytime you sack another artifact or creature, you get a +1/+1 counter on this, and we're going to have a lot of things to sacrifice. So not a lot to say about the card. It's just a really good thing to help fuel the engine, if you will. We're going to play Crawling Chorus, because this gives us 2 things to sacrifice, so we don't hate that at all. I mean, if you imagine playing this on turn 1, and then you play Bartolome on turn 2, it's actually possible to turn that into a 4/3 creature, which also would protect it from something like Cut Down. So just a thing to think about. We're going to play Ellis Ilcor. I don't know why I chose this crazy art, but this actually has Death Touch. It's a 2/2, and then every time you have a creature enter the battlefield, you gain 1 life. When you have a creature die, your opponent loses 1 life. That's going to work out very well for us because we have a lot of ways to sacrifice things. And to create creatures, because you have stuff like Lord Skitter. This is going to be 3 mana for a 3/3, get a creature every turn, remove something from your opponent's graveyard. Not a surprise here, we've seen this on a lot of lists. This is just serving as an enabler to give us more things to sacrifice, more than anything else. Now this is a fun new card that I believe is an uncommon here, but Market Gnome. It's a 1 mana 0/3. And when it dies, you gain a life and draw a card. Now, it does have a bonus ability that if it's exiled as part of whatever we're calling the craft thing or whatever, the craft ability with another card, you get an extra card in a life. I don't think we have anything we're going to do that with today, but we have a lot of ways we're going to sacrifice this, as you've already seen. So this could work out really well for us. And it's a 0/3, so it's not nothing, but it's at least a reasonable blocker while you get set up. Singuin Evangelist. I believe this is the 3rd list that this card has found a way into for us, and it makes perfect sense here, right? It's a possible 3 bodies off of 1 card. So if we need to just get a bunch of triggers and kill our opponent with Bartolome, cool. If we need triggers to kill our opponent with an Ellis Ilcor, cool. Or if we have all those tokens just sitting around and want to attack, this has Battle Cry and pumps all those creatures. So we like everything this is bringing to the table for us. Another fun card that's new is Veto, Fanatic of Aots. Now, this is a 4 mana 4/4 flyer. You can sacrifice another permanent, you gain 2 life. If you do it a second time in a turn, your opponent loses 2 life. And if you do it a third time in a turn, you get a 4/3 white and black vampire creature with flying. Now, how often are we going to get the 4/3? Probably not a lot, but a lot we're going to gain life, a lot we're going to drain the opponent for 2. Also draining the opponent for 2, Vran, Executioner Thane. This card's actually super good, just a simple 2 mana 2/2. Once per turn, if we have something die, then your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Nothing wrong with that. The cool part, though, is this deck is set up where we can do it on our turn and we can do it on their turn. So we could be getting an 8 life swing every turn, because remember, Bartolome can activate whenever, and we have another pile of cards we're going to talk about here to get to activate as well. A series of them. The first being Corrupted Conviction. This card, very simple. Just sacrifice a creature or an artifact. Actually, this is just sacrifice a creature, my bad, and draw 2 cards. Totally okay, though, because, again, you have something like the Gnome, which basically would be 3 cards, or the extra tokens you have from Lord Skitter, or the bats from the Evangelist. So, like, lots of ways we can or lots of things to sacrifice, and we have lots of ways to take advantage of that. And we needed a way to get extra cards because you want to just keep pumping stuff out. Your opponent's going to want to get rid of your engine pieces, where it's Bartolome or it's Ellis Ilcor. This gives you more ways to draw into them. Fanatic Offering. This is cool because this is the one where you sacrifice a creature or an artifact, and then you just get to destroy or draw 2 cards. I had this mixed up with the other one I've been playing in the other list. That's the black one that lets you kill stuff. But this lets you draw 2 cards and create a map token. Now, the artifact isn't huge, but it is one more thing that we can sacrifice. But obviously, drawing the cards is the most important thing to just getting into more cards. And we're going to play Get Lost. This card's just good. If you're playing white and you have the mana to spare, like, it just destroys a lot of things. I think we're going to get tired of seeing this card very quickly. I'd almost say in paper as well. If you want to get your hands on them, get them sooner rather than later. And we're going to be playing some Dusk Rose Reliquary. This lets us get rid of an artifact or a creature until this goes away. But we also have to sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Shouldn't have any problem doing that, and for 1 mana and Ward 2, we are totally okay with this. Nothing special we're going to be doing with the lands. It's going to be all the usual suspects that you would think you would see in this type of list. One thing I would like to add is that I am currently working on a way to fit in the Virtue of Loyalty, so you have a way to just pump up some tokens if the game goes that way. So you can expect that to probably be in the final download somewhere whenever you get to the list. But yeah, otherwise this deck is actually really cool, looks really sweet, and uses lots of new cards in very good ways. Don't forget you can download this down below. If you want to get some merch, this will be tagged as well. You can check that out. And remember to like and subscribe because that helps so much for us to be seen by other people, because I'm always appreciative of that. And you'll get to see the gameplay of these decks as I put them up. Be sure to check out this other video because you want to be ready to go for standard, and I got a lot more deck techs for you.